Sunshine, long time no see, my friend. Obviously, a very important win for Man United today. We're closing in on Champions League positions, which could be important next year. We don't know who's going to be our manager, who we're going to buy in the summer, how good we're going to be. But I wanted to ask you more about Rasmus Hojlund, heavily criticized maybe 2 months ago. A lot of, I hate to say it, and that's going to trigger people, but a lot of Martial FC were coming for him, which I still to this day cannot understand. It was weird to me, but he is, he's breaking records, he's scoring goals, and he's looking like a genuine United player of old.
You're on mute.
Oh, we can't hear you, bro. You're actually not muted, which is strange.
Oh.
We can't hear you, mate. It's very strange. I don't know why.
Come out and come back in, maybe.
Yeah, jump out and jump back in again. Yeah. I'll go to Aaron with that question then about Rasmus Hojlund.
Yeah, no, I thought it was quality today. To be fair, he was on the end of the things that he needed to. Again, starved of a supply, and he scored when he needed to. 2-0 in 10 minutes. We thought we were going to be cruising, but unfortunately, we just couldn't keep control of the game, and that's been the case, like you said, for most of the season. Bruno, today, giving the ball away in silly situations, and then again, that's our skipper. When he was taken off, Hojlund, I was disappointed. He was our focal point up top. He was holding the ball up. He was doing his job. And he's the only one in our team that can do that. And the fact that he was taken off so early, it really annoyed me by Ten Hag.
He was gassed, though. He was gassed.
I know, but when he's doing his job, he's just got to keep going. There was, 10 minutes to go when he was taken off?
No, but I think he got taken off because he had a moment when he got the ball nicked off him in his head. Like, you could just see he was just like, everything was gone. And I think that's when, I don't think it was anything other than he was so gassed.
I know. But then you got to get through those 90 minutes, haven't you? Away at Kenilworth Road, it's not easy, and the fact that he was holding up the ball so well, he's just got to stay on. He's got to keep fighting. Wow. I can't.
Showing up the midfield as well, wasn't it? Strengthening midfield, putting a little bit of energy back into the game with Amrabat, who broke the game up, and he did make some decisive tackles that were quite important. So it's one of those where you go, if they'd have conceded and we'd have not brought him on and left Hojlund on, he was clearly absolutely wrecked. Garnacho was absolutely destroyed. He only had one more sub left to make. He had to do something. And I think, if we'd have conceded and not made the change, it'd have all been like, Ten Hag should have brought somebody on. He was wrecked, sort of thing. So it's one of them where you can't win, but at the end of the day, we got the point. So you have to say it's the right decision.
Yeah, I guess so. We just need that control in the game. And the only person that looked composed was Mainu. Throughout the entire 90, the whole midfield. I agree. The balance out there. Can we hear you now, Sunshine?
I'm unsure. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go, my friend.
Sorry. Before you jump on, I'm gonna have to jump off. It's a quick one for me today, but
all right, cheers, mate. I appreciate it. Say hello to your dog for me as well. I can hear your dog in the background. Take care, my G.
Thank you.
Take care, bro.
Cool, man. I was just saying that it's nice to see you again, Terry, man. Thanks for having me back on the Terrace.
Never a problem, my bro.
A pleasure, man. But yeah, I think was it Hojlund you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. When people on Twitter were going on at Hojlund, he should be playing down the wing, he should be doing this. I'll be honest. I pay attention and put my little 2 pence into things, but I thought this time I'm just gonna leave it, man, because the reality of the situation is I'm seeing all the right things from him off the ball. When he was in the striker position, he just wasn't being fed enough at times when he should have been, and of course, due to selfishness or due to the lack of the pass not being there in the right situation for him, shall we say, he wasn't able to get the service that he needed. It didn't mean he was doing anything wrong. So I just think people overcomplicated the situation for what it was without realizing that no, he was gonna get his goals because he's doing everything right. The position off the ball, running and charging down the space, his final balls, tap-ins. He was just waiting for that goal.
And AG, just to even add on to that, just that adjustment period he needed from the other league he was into this.
Yeah, of course.
He had to adjust to the pace as well. Yeah,
I think people forget, Terry. Yeah. I mean, I think we had a conversation about it prior a while back when we got him, and I said Hojlund should have been our second striker to another forward. I remember saying to you guys we should have had 2 clinical forwards before anything because we lack goals. And Hojlund's had to come in here as a youth and be the main striker. And now everyone's going to put all that pressure on him. That's something, again, I don't rate Ten Hag for. I think he prioritised wrong, but I'm not going to go over that old chestnut again. It's a simple fact now for me. we needed more. We needed more over that. Now Hojlund's had to step into that role, and the pressure from United fans has had to be tenfold. It's had to be tenfold on him, and he's had to deal with that. Now, yes, he's got the mentality for it, so cool. Well done. He stepped up to the plate, but he's just maintained his game for what I've seen since he's first put that jersey on. He just hasn't bagged, and when he started bagging, he's got the confidence. And now look at it, it's like, well, he can be our first striker. So, with all due respect, Ten Hag's got it right with that signing. As much as I dislike that, because for me, I still think we need 2 clinical forwards in either the wide areas or up front. However, different conversation. He's got it right. He's got it right in Hojlund.
I think you're right. Do you know what I think it is though? That the manager's has identified a star here. There's no doubt. I think there's a real player in him. On top of that, though, I do think we needed a more experienced striker as well. But that's where I've got to praise the player, because he has got his head down, worked hard, stayed level-headed, and it's paying off dividends now. It's paying off dividends, and he's starting to. If he'd have come in and started like this, we would have gone, oh, we don't need another striker. And he's turning into that player quickly. And what I like about it, he's looked at the situation and gone, well, maybe we do need somebody who's a bit more longer in the tooth than me. But instead of crying about it or worrying about it or going, oh, they're going to bring in some competition, what about my career path? He's gone, well, I'm just going to work hard, start scoring the goals and deliver. And I love that attitude. I love that behavior from him. It's inspiring in many ways. I've got a lot of time for this kid. And again, look, we know we're on a journey now, United, with our new owners, and he's whether Ten Hag stays or not, this kid's a star for us for the future. I don't know about you, Phil. You've been watching United about the same sort of time as me. This looks like the kind of player that a Fergie would have signed back in the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he's got a bit of strength in him. He holds the ball up, as has already been said on the show several times. I think he brings up, as different people have said already tonight, he's brought different types of goals. He's getting headers. He's strong. He's holding the ball up. He's spinning on the ball. He's putting it into the bottom corner. He's one of my favourite goals is that one for Wolves where he's just lying under the player celebrating sort of thing. It's just quality. It's showing his desire to get in the box and make those movements. And even before he was scoring, before he did start scoring, everyone was on his back. You look back at the games, he was getting shots on target, and they weren't weak shots. There was some great goalkeeper saves as well, where you're just thinking, oh, come on, it's going to come. You could see it coming. Everyone was like waxing lyrical about him in that when he came on with about 20 minutes ago against Arsenal. And everyone was like, yeah, we've got a striker. We've got someone who's going to change our game, absolutely. And I take on board what you're saying about him being a second striker, but at the end of the day, if you believe in someone, how long have we been crying out about other teams finding these star players for, all right, it wasn't cheap, but not 120 million or whatever sort of thing, not the finished article. Maybe now we've finally got one of our own. Everyone, he's already being linked to Real Madrid and stuff. It's obviously paper talk, but at the end of the day, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to find these gems. Like you mentioned Javier Hernandez before. What was he, 20 million or something like that? But the goals he got us, this hoping with.
I think he was about 10.3 million. Yeah, I remember that deal.
Well, there you go. So
yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. We need to build on this now. We've got him. We've spent our money on him. And we've got this new team in the board sort of thing who are going to help us spend wisely and look at players who are out in the market before, not like the Osimhen 140 million, who everybody knows is a great player. We need to find those gems who are out there again and bring them into the team and just develop ourselves sensibly. We're not being accused of FFP like many other teams are, and I'm all for that. Anthony was the wrong decision, we know that, but we also know what he brought at Ajax and that connection he had with Ten Hag, and everyone was like waxing lyrical about Anthony before he came. Yes, we've got him, we've won him, sort of thing. It's fantastic. It's not worked out for him in the Premier League. It's fast. It's a tougher game. He's not as much time on the ball, sort of thing. He's learning that the hard way, and that's the 80 million that we lost. That was the big investment that went the wrong way for me.